So let's look at the parts of a polynomial. So when it comes to a polynomial, what we have is the degree of a polynomial is the largest exponent or the largest power. So in that first example there, f of x is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 9. My largest power is to the power of 3. And because my largest power is to the power of 3, we say that that first one is a degree, it's a polynomial of degree 3. Let's make that a lighter color. So it's degree 3. The degree of h of x, when we have a look through it, its largest power is to the power of 4, so it's a polynomial of degree 4. And finally, with y equals 3x plus 2, its highest power is to a power of 1, so we say it's a degree of 1. Moving on. The leading term of a polynomial. So if we think about this, we're looking at this idea of a term. Remembering a term is algebraically, it's either a number or a number and a bit of a pronomial together that also includes its direction or its sign. So if we have a look in here, is the leading term of x cubed plus 4x squared, it's all of this value, so it's x cubed. The leading term of next one is all of this value, so it's positive x to the power of 4. And finally, it's positive 3x. That's our leading term, everything that's associated with the highest degree. The leading coefficient, so when we talk about the coefficient, we're just talking about the number that is multiplying that degree. So if I look at that first one here, there's nothing outside of that x, but remember that would theoretically be 1 outside the x there, so it has a leading coefficient of 1. In the next one, I've changed it up slightly. Now I've got negative x to the power of 4. So negative x to the power of 4, well, the coefficient there is negative 1. You can see negative 1. And finally, it's positive 3 is our leading coefficient of that polynomial. And the final part of a polynomial that we want to look for is what is the constant term. Remembering that thing that has no variable attached to it, the thing that we associate as our y-intercept. So for all these polynomials that we've got here, the constant term, this negative 9 at the end, this positive 3, this positive 2, they would be the y-intercepts if we were to sketch those functions there, those polynomials. So something to remember about polynomials, because all these tell us important information about a polynomial. The degree of a polynomial. Remember, we talked about in class that if it's an odd power, you've got your Travolta curves, right? Your Travolta curves. If it's an even power, you've got your both arms up, praise the Lord, or if it's negative, both arms down, bow down and worship. Okay, so even powers up, even powers both up or both down, odd powers, you've got your Travolta curves. So that's what the degree tells us. The leading term, well, it's going to tell us if it's, positive or negative. That leading coefficient and leading term will determine if we're dancing this way, if we're up, if we're down, it will determine that. And then finally, that constant term will tell us where we're crossing that y-axis.